8:36 Central African time. Welcome back. You're still tuned into News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. And we're still celebrating, commemorating Youth Month. And there's a young South African content creator who's proving that social media influence can be much more about likes and followers as it is about creating a space for change and becoming the voice that you want to hear, becoming the proverbial man in the mirror. 23-year-old Leonie is preparing to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak. This is in a bid to raise more than 180,000 Rand for Doctors Without Borders, also known as MSF. The campaign, called Summit to Save Lives, aims to support humanitarian work in some of the world's most vulnerable communities and support the work that MSF does. I think we all know about them. We know the work that they do and in some of the most remote, unreachable parts of the globe. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. And before she begins that 10-day journey to the roof of Africa, as it is colloquially known, Leonie will spend time with MSF teams in Tanzania to better understand some of the realities facing people who struggle to access healthcare. And she's joining us right now on our virtual platform to give us more insight on why. Why would you want to climb a mountain? I mean, we're in Joburg. Well, I'm in Joburg, and it's really, really cold. Imagine summiting Mount Kilimanjaro. Leonie, welcome to News and Views. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, that's a really good
Yeah,
question.
why?
Why one would decide to do that? I guess I always loved challenging myself ever since I was young, and I believe that real growth happens outside of one's comfort zone. And usually the experiences that challenge you the most are often the ones that shape you the most as well. In 2024, I hiked to Everest Base Camp, and it really changed me. It taught me what resilience means, like nothing else. Just physically and mentally, you're really being pushed in those long, high altitude treks. And I knew I was gonna do another trek after that one. Yeah, physically, you're really being pushed to your limits, but mentally, you realize eventually you're capable of so much more. And that's how I fell in love with these adventures and challenges. And then last year, I decided I want to take on Kilimanjaro.
I want you to take us back to that moment when you said yes to this project. What made it feel worth doing? What does Summit to Save Lives mean to you?
Um, I guess I really wanted this hike to stand for something. Adventure has always been a huge part of my life, and I believe that if we're fortunate enough and if we have an opportunity, we should use to create a positive impact. And I guess that's how Summit to Save Lives was born. And it just means that the whole climb is going to represent something so much bigger than just reaching the summit. It becomes a symbol, and it becomes a symbol of what we can achieve when people come together for a shared purpose. So I was really excited when this project was born, and I'm fortunate to have such a big audience, and I am happy that I can dedicate this purpose to this trek.
No, it's very, very beautiful. Just take us, into how you prepare for such a feat. Psychologically, physically, it can be really, really demanding. Where do you even
Mm.
start? Where do you train for it? Do you have to change your diet? What do you do?
I think the biggest challenge about it is mental. If you're already like I feel like I live a quite an active lifestyle. I'm a diver. I have hiked many times before in my life, so I kind of know how my body feels around the mountains, how it feels out and about. So I'm pretty confident in that, but just mentally, you have to prepare yourself for the cold, for aches, for not having maybe the best sleep, for maybe getting altitude sickness, for not having your food to comfort you, just a lot of things, for being away from home.
Mm.
And I guess I there's multiple ways you can prepare for it. Once again, it's so loud now. But there's multiple ways that you can. Maybe I should go inside. Can you still hear me well?
It's okay. It's okay. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Um, it's okay. Maybe. I guess there's multiple ways that you can prepare for it. Number one could be taking ice baths. or I think I'm gonna move inside. Hold on.
All
This
right.
is gonna be
All
much
right. All
better.
right. If it's distracting for you, then it's okay. I think you could
Yeah,
get
I'm
in
just
your
gonna move
steps while
inside.
you also prepare for
No, no, no,
for
it's
for for
okay. One
Kilimanjaro.
second. So this is gonna be much better. I
Sure.
guess some ways that you can prepare for it is just training your mind to be resilient. So the way I like to do it is I take a lot of cold water plunges, or I go on long hikes. I like push through the moments that your body aches. So you can go on runs, you can do workouts, any of those things that really push you a little bit, and then you still go above and beyond it. So you kind of build like a mental stamina, and
Mm,
make sure your body is like capable of doing the trick.
Wow, interesting stuff. Let's talk about how you plan on, you are a content creator, obviously, so there's going to be that aspect, I'm pretty sure, to climbing Kilimanjaro, but also you need to be present, you need to be there, physically experience it. How do you plan to balance the two? Because young people often get a lot of criticism for not living in the moment, always taking out your phone and trying to record
Mhm.
instead of experiencing things to their max. How do you plan to balance the two? Because I'm pretty sure your followers also want to be a part of it, but I'm pretty sure you also want to experience it to the fullest.
Yeah, so anyways, I don't think there will be a lot of service connection on the mountain, so there will be a lot of disconnection on the trek, which I think is quite good. It helps you also to stay focused and stay on like the mental track that I was just talking about before. But I will be filming mostly on a camera that kind of helps to like separate the phone and the filming. And anyways, I personally love filming so much. Like just creating like storytelling is one of my big passions. So that comes quite naturally. And since I'm not thinking about uploading every day or every second, I'm going to be doing all of that after. It is going to be quite doable.
Mm, 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 mm.
And actually it
Um,
can even help to distract you sometimes from
yeah,
the tense hike. If you're filming something, you're kind of getting a bit of distraction, which can be nice.
yeah, definitely can. Let's talk about the work that Doctors Without Borders does. I think most of us know about it. It is very, very widely publicized, and they're an organization that's doing really, really wonderful work. What made you decide to include them in this campaign? You also be spending time with some of their teams out in Tanzania. Why this element of trying to feel and see in real time what this organization does, and how you can assist in whatever little way that you can. But climbing Mount Kilimanjaro is not a little way, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I guess I'm really looking forward to hear and learn from the people on the ground. Usually we read about humanitarian crisis on headlines, but to understand it better and also everyday realities and challenges of the communities that the communities in Tanzania are facing. And I know that MSF in Tanzania is supporting maternal health, and maternal mortality is still one of the world's biggest health issues. And yeah, far too many women die from complications during pregnancy, during childbirth that are often preventable with access to medical care. And I want to better understand those challenges and the work being done to address them, and try to share them in a respectful and meaningful way. And I
Mm.
think that if we understand the realities that people face better, we're more likely to care and hopefully to help and act.
Very, very, very true. I want to touch on, an element that I opened this interview with, the fact that South Africa is commemorating Youth Month. As a young person yourself, do you think young people could do just a bit more, to try and influence the change that we want to see, to try and, convince those that are in authority, that are in power, to see things from young people's perspective? And is there a role and a space for young people to do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think young people are great. Actually, I think they're doing so much and they're really trying to figure everything out, and it's not always easy nowadays. But I
Mm,
think also making a difference or being part of a change sometimes is overthought. But like you don't need to feel like you need to change the world overnight. You can help by being kind, by smiling at someone, by helping your elderly neighbor, by cooking a meal and sharing it with someone. someone who needs it, maybe volunteer a few hours. There's so much you can do to be part of a change and to help, and that's actually, I think, what matters more, that you do something rather than thinking you need to do this huge massive thing. You can also do that, of course, but anything can make a difference.
And for you personally, what would you, when it's all said and done, what would you consider a success from this very, very important journey? When you look back at it, you are tracking back from Kilimanjaro, and you're looking back and say, you know what, I did that. What would be a success for you in black and white?
Reaching the summit, of course, and then with the summit, also reaching the summit of the fundraiser, which we've set for now to 10,000 euros. But of course, we can go above and beyond that. But I'll be grateful and happy for everyone who participates and helps with that. And the money will be going straight to people who need it the most, who need medical care the most. Yeah, that would be great. And also that my group stays safe. I'm not going alone, so that everyone is doing well and that no one gets really bad altitude sickness or needs to be, God knows, evacuated by a helicopter. So that's the most important, that everyone gets back down safe and healthy.
Altitude sickness seems to be a very, very big factor. Is there any way to like prepare for it? Do you train your body? Do you go to the high field or something? How do you deal with it?
Yeah, you can take first of all, you can take a medication that's called Diamox. I took it already once before. Some people have side effects, some not. You can test it before, but it kind of helps your body with the altitude. And then second of all, I mean, that's I think more for extreme athletes. If you really go higher than the height we're going, you can kind of go into like a chamber and train your body with different oxygen levels. But I think you can just make sure your cardiovascular health is good, and you maybe take Diamox with you.
Wow, interesting stuff. In closing, where can people reach you? How do they get hold of you? Those that want to contribute and be part of this very, very, I think, wonderful initiative and your journey.
Yeah, thanks for asking this question. I am gonna share everything on my social media, so that's gonna be Instagram and TikTok. It'll be Leonie Felicia. And then there is a fundraiser, a campaign link in the bio of my Instagram. It's a Give and Game page, and this is where you can donate.
There we go, Leonie Buchegger. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to following your journey. And I hope we chat again when you come back just to share with us your experience and just to recount how it was. Really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
There we go, man. Young people doing some very, very incredible stuff. Climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa. I commend you for that, man. Going to take a quick break. News and views will continue after this.